During my sophomore year in college, I met Caleb in the most cliché but heartwarming way, over a spilled coffee and an apology at the campus cafe. Caleb was the type who stood out without trying, well-spoken, sharp-dressed, and carrying an air of conviction I wasn't used to. He told me he believed in structure, in old-school romance, in faith, and loyalty. Raised Catholic and proud of it, he spoke about things like Sunday Mass and waiting till marriage, which honestly felt refreshing in a world of chaotic hookup culture. I grew up more free-spirited. My family celebrated love without much structure. No rigid religion, no moral lecturing. Still, Caleb's values intrigued me. We talked for hours about the future, careers, our views on life. Within weeks, we were dating exclusively. At first, things were perfect. Caleb was caring, consistent, and never missed a good morning text. But slowly, the old-school charm turned into rules. No crop tops, no guy friends? No nights out without him. I brushed it off as protectiveness, maybe even flattery. But one Friday, I was invited to a birthday party, just a small girls' night. Harmless fun. I didn't even tell Caleb at first because I knew what he'd say. But when he texted me that evening asking what I was up to, I replied honestly, "At Mia's party, nothing crazy, just music and mocktails." The next morning, he didn't reply, not a single word. Not "good morning, beautiful," not "how was the party." Instead, I saw his story. It was a photo. Him at a bonfire with 3 girls from his Bible study group. One was practically in his lap. The caption? "When she plays Friday night, I pray harder." I felt that slow burn of betrayal and humiliation. I called. He ignored it. I messaged. He replied, "Just balancing the scales, babe. You want to act single? I can learn too." That was the first and last straw. I told him, "I didn't cheat. I went to a party with girls I've known since middle school. If that's too wild for you, maybe you should be dating a nun." He responded, "Maybe I should." We broke up that day. I cried. Not because I missed him, but because I had let myself feel guilty for doing absolutely nothing wrong. 3 weeks later, something wild happened. A girl I'd never met DM'd me. Her message started with, "Hey, I think I was seeing your ex, Caleb? He said he was single, but I just saw your picture on his old story highlights and got confused." Turns out, while Caleb was preaching loyalty, he'd been messaging at least 2 other girls from his Bible group. One he kissed during a retreat. Another he promised he was waiting for, spiritually and emotionally. Guess his faith had flexible hours. I screenshotted the messages, sent them to all 3 girls. One replied, "Wow, I needed this." Another, "Guess the scales tipped the other way." I smiled. Not out of revenge, but out of relief. Caleb wasn't the guardian of virtue I thought he was. He was just good at acting the part, until his own ego got in the way. Morale? Don't let anyone guilt you for being yourself, especially when they're hiding behind rules they don't even follow. If this story moved you or made you think, subscribe. Not just to this channel, but to the countless stories waiting to be told. Globally told chapters, where every story matters.